Number 20.
Final Fantasy VI. This classic RPG from Squaresoft wasn't my gateway drug into RPGs, but it solidified my love for them. It bridges the gap between the Final Fantasies before it and now with a solid emphasis on sword and sorcery fantasy, but combined perfectly in a steampunk setting. It features a cast of 14 playable characters, each with an engaging story and their own set of special abilities, a robust magic system in which any character can learn any spell, and a vast and changing landscape, all jammed into a 32 meg cartridge. The landscape is rendered in Mode 7 graphics, giving it a 3D quality on the SNES, which changes drastically as the game progresses. I don't think there's any other game like it, and it is without a doubt my favorite game of all time.
Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. Mario Kart 8 is so much fun to play either on your own or with family or friends. Having the different race levels from 50cc to 200cc makes it playable for everyone. It's great that I can play with my kids and we can make it a fun family game night. My 4-year-old loves to just pick up this game and play a few races by herself. And playing online with friends is so much fun. There's nothing like being in first place about to win when you get hit by an enemy's special weapon and you're bumped to second or worse, even lower place. The voice chat available in between races is great to yell at your friends for cheating you out of that win. I recommend Mario Kart 8 to everyone. It's a great pick-up and play game, a great family fun game, and it's a great party game, whether it's in the same room with your friends or online with a great community.
Super Mario Bros. 2. Although not originally a Mario game, adapting Doki Doki Panic to be one sort of accidentally enriched and shaped the franchise for the better. I think that a lot of Mario fans love Shy Guys, Bob-Ombs, Birdo, and getting to play not only as Mario or Green Mario, but also as Luigi, Peach, and Toad, all distinct and unique characters. And all of that comes from Super Mario Bros. 2. For those reasons alone, this game deserves a spot in the list and in our hearts. It also helps that this game is seriously awesome in all other areas.
A Link Between Worlds. When I heard that Nintendo would be releasing another Zelda title for the 3DS, I nearly shrugged it off. It was hailed as a spiritual successor to A Link to the Past, and I thought, well, I have A Link to the Past, and it couldn't possibly be better than that. But then came the chatter, and the buzz, and the reviews, and the awards, and I thought, well, maybe I should give it a try. And holy Hyrule was I absolutely blown away. With a gorgeous aesthetic and a brand new play control where Link can flatten out against walls to solve puzzles and access certain areas, A Link Between Worlds was quickly advancing up the ranks of my favorite Zelda titles. Keeping all of the expected and familiar features you'd expect, and adding just enough newness to make it fresh, is sometimes a difficult task for a developer of a franchise that is so well loved. But Nintendo pulled it off masterfully. Simply put, A Link Between Worlds was one of my favorite gaming experiences ever, modern or retro.
Zelda games tend to be formulaic, and people seem to love it. Fans of the series tend to dislike the less formulaic Zelda games more than the ones that stick more closely to the pattern A Link to the Past left. When Nintendo tries to do something different, they usually end up either with some sort of mess or with an unexpected genius stroke. A Link Between Worlds is an example of the latter. I cannot praise any game more than plainly saying that this game is actually better than A Link to the Past. That's how good it is.
Shovel Knight is an action platformer released in 2014 by Yacht Club Games for just about every modern platform you can think of. It features retro stylized graphics and gameplay mechanics very reminiscent of the NES Mega Mans and DuckTales. The soundtrack evokes that 8-bit and 16-bit era sound that we all love, cranked up to 11, with Strike the Earth being the track that nearly knocks my socks off. The game presents challenging platforming and combat that keeps you itching for more and never feeling cheated. As an added bonus, Yacht Club has even offered free DLC in the form of a completely new adventure featuring Plague Knight and the upcoming Spectre Knight adventure. I played through this on 3DS and I just couldn't get enough. It's no question that this title will end up a classic, admired and enjoyed for many years to come.
Number 15.
The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is the game that changed everything. A top-down puzzle adventure game where you play as Link, who has to save the land of Hyrule from the evil clutches of Ganon, who has imprisoned Princess Zelda seeking to rule the land. The Legend of Zelda has inspired countless games and it has remained a cult phenomenon for over 30 years. The impact this game has had on the industry is hard to measure, and it's impossible to imagine what the gaming world would be like without the influence of the pointy-eared hero in green. The Legend of Zelda deserves its status as a timeless classic, and will no doubt continue to influence, entertain, and inspire gamers for years to come.
Mario Kart 64 was released in February of 1997. The title is the first sequel in the Mario Kart series, bringing the series from its Mode 7 roots on the Super Nintendo to 3D on the N64. Mario Kart 64 is not only console-defining as one of the best games on the N64, it's also genre-defining as it's one of the most memorable kart racers of all time. And for good reason. This title has innovative maps that you race on that are referential to many entries in the Mario series, combined with slick gameplay. Introduced with the original Mario Kart, rather than being a simple racing game, the game allows you to pick up power-ups that helps you win races. These power-ups are iconic and would often be imitated by other games in the genre. The only downside to Mario 64 is that the characters aren't rendered in 3D and are simply pre-rendered sprites. This can be a little disorienting, however it's easy to get over once you play the game for a bit. The soundtrack's among the most memorable of any game, featuring a near-perfect upbeat racing music, rivaled possibly only by Ridge Racer. Mario Kart 64, despite its age, sits high as one of the most iconic kart racing titles of all time, and one of the few reasons you might want to turn on your N64 these days.
Tetris. Tetris needs no introduction. Its popularity cannot be understated, and its impact is still being felt today. Hundreds, if not thousands, of puzzle games have taken inspiration from it. Tetris is uniquely suited to the video game format and is so popular it has been ported to nearly every computer or video game system imaginable. It was the Game Boy port, however, that is its greatest pairing. The simple design and graphics were perfect for the rudimentary capabilities of the Game Boy, and the fact that you could play it anywhere made it ideal for both children and adults alike. Like any great puzzle game, Tetris is easy to learn and difficult to master. The simple mechanic of setting pieces to complete full rows can be enjoyed by anyone, and the difficulty scales very well, up to the point where a zen-like trance and lightning-fast reflexes are required to achieve master status. Tetris is as enjoyable today as it was when it was released over 30 years ago, and is arguably the greatest puzzle video game ever devised.
I could still remember walking into a Target department store, stopping by the video game section, and seeing a line in front of the new Nintendo 64 kiosk. The game that the people were lined up for was Super Mario 64. I immediately got in line so I could experience the joy that these other kids seemed to have. I can remember putting my hands on that weird shaped controller and walking around a 3D environment with Mario. It felt amazing to play this game. This was revolutionary. Fast forward 20 years and I'm still playing this game. You know why? Because it's still amazing. The platforming is perfect. The camera is perfect. The level design is perfect. The music is perfect. This game is perfect.
Number 11.
beat-em-ups were some of the star attractions in 90s arcades. I mean, you had the X-Men, The Simpsons, Final Fight, Alien vs. Predator, Captain Commando, Cadillacs, and dinosaurs. The list goes on and on. And while most enjoyed healthy lives inside the arcade, few had life outside the quarter-munching halls of yesteryear. However, one franchise managed to escape its cabinet-confined companions not once, but twice, and living rooms across the world suddenly became a whole lot more radical. That's right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, received a successful port to the Nintendo Entertainment System, but it wasn't until its sequel, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, that was ported to the Super Nintendo, that a true classic was born. Now, due to the technical limitations of the time, TMNT 2, the arcade game for the NES, felt like a watered-down version of its arcade counterpart. But Turtles in Time? No way, this was the real deal. Aside from a few minor concessions, you couldn't ask for a more faithful arcade port. It even managed a few improvements over the original, like more levels, better bosses, and the ability to intentionally throw enemies off screen, which still remains the best video game attack ever, in my humble opinion. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time remains one of the best beat-em-ups and arcade ports ever. I guess you could say it's really stood the test of time? I made a funny. Ha 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 ha!